Hey, what's up? KOSPET just released its most affordable rugged smartwatch yet, the KOSPET Orb 2. The new smartwatch costs only $69. That is a massive price drop compared to their high-end models like the Tank T4 and M4, which retail closer to $200. However, the new KOSPET Orb 2 is still a rugged sports smartwatch with 5 ATM and IP69 water resistance, military-certified shock resistance, low and high temperature resistance, low pressure and vibration resistance, etc. This smartwatch still supports dual-band GPS, more than 170 sports modes, 24/7 health tracking. It even has built-in 5-level LED flashlight and a walkie-talkie function to help you stay safe and connected off-grid. Just like the high-end models, the new smartwatch runs on the ApexMove operating system, so I expect it to offer the same functions. So far, I don't see how the new KOSPET Orb 2 smartwatch falls short of the flagship models, but let's find out. So the new KOSPET smartwatch comes in this box. I have the silver version, so the picture shows a smartwatch with a silver dial and a gray strap. I think if you buy the watch in black, it will be black on the box. It seems like the main feature of the KOSPET Orb 2 is its 170 plus sports modes with GPS, because that's what it says on the front of the box. However, we can also see other features of the new watch on the back of the box, such as AMOLED display, dual-band GPS and sports modes, 24/7 health monitoring, flashlight, and walkie-talkie. When we open the box, we see the watch. The sticker on the display features the slogan "Beyond Light, Built Tough." The box also includes a strap, a magnetic charging cable, and a user manual. That's it. This looks good, but pretty simple. When I unboxed the KOSPET Tank T4 watch, it gave me a more premium impressions, because that watch had the charging base, a power bank, leather straps, screen protectors, and so on. This is probably the first reason why KOSPET Orb 2 is so affordable. However, you can buy accessories for it additionally, at least stainless steel and woven nylon straps. Talking about the design of the new watch, as I mentioned earlier, I have the silver version with a silver dial and a gray strap. The KOSPET Orb 2 is also available in black version with a black dial and a black strap. I think the stainless steel strap would look great with this silver dial, don't you think? The body of the KOSPET Orb 2 smartwatch is made of polymer, but it has a zinc alloy bezel. Let me remind you that the flagship KOSPET Tank T4 watch featured an all-metal case. Probably because of its polymer case, the KOSPET Orb 2 is the company's most lightweight smartwatch. It weighs only 41 grams without the strap and about 62 grams with the strap. It is also smaller than the previous smartwatches, but only by a couple of millimeters. The dimensions are 51 by 50 by 13 millimeters. The KOSPET Orb 2 has only 2 physical buttons on the side panel, so unlike the previous models with 4 physical buttons, you probably will not be able to control the watch without a touchscreen. Please pay attention to this, because it is important for water sports or other active sports. The new smartwatch has a built-in speaker and microphone. The rear panel has 2 charging pins and health tracking sensors. One of the features of the KOSPET Orb 2, which even the flagship KOSPET Tank T4 lacks, is a built-in LED flashlight. However, the KOSPET Tank T4C has a similar flashlight. It has 5 levels of brightness. I think it is much brighter and easier to use than a flashlight that uses a display. As for the strap, it is 22 mm wide, just like the previous models, so I think they are compatible. But I am not sure about that. You should check with the company before buying additional straps. The strap is made of liquid silicone, so it is very flexible and durable. The buckle is metal. Although the case of the KOSPET Orb 2 is made of the polymer rather than stainless steel, it is still a rugged smartwatch. It has 5 ATM and IP69 water resistance ratings. It also passed 12 military-grade tests by SGS Europe, so the new watch is suitable for active outdoor sports. The display is also very important for using the watch outdoors. The good news is that the KOSPET Orb 2 features the same display as the flagship KOSPET Tank T4 model, a 1.43-inch diagonal, a resolution of 466 by 466 pixels, a pixel density of 461 ppi, and even the same brightness, up to 1000 nits. The new watch supports always-on display, but it doesn't have an ambient light sensor to automatically adjust the screen brightness. Still, it is a very good display for a $69 smartwatch. Okay, now let's talk about the functions of the KOSPET Orb 2 watch. I already said that the new budget smartwatch has the same operating system as the flagship models, ApexMove OS. I am testing the watch with ApexMove OS version 1.0. The interface of the KOSPET Orb 2 looks the same as on the flagship KOSPET watches, specifically the quick settings menu with many functions such as Bluetooth phone calls, flashlight, do not disturb mode, sleep mode, find phone, display duration, up menu types, battery, and many others. You can also customize the quick settings menu by adding or removing the functions. There are also widgets available on the watch. They are actually called shortcut cards on the KOSPET watches. You have daily activity, weather forecast, heart rate, sleep, and training plan out of the box. However, you can edit the cards in the mobile app. Here you can add workouts, workout records, blood oxygen, stress, and much more. You can view notifications on your watch by swiping right on the screen. Swiping left opens the menu with the list of all apps, workouts, training plans, workout records, heart rate, blood oxygen, stress, mood, one-tap measurement, activity, sleep, calls, notifications, weather, alarms, calendar, music, calculator, compass, flashlight, walkie-talkie, voice assistant, settings, and more. When you press more, you will also find sun and moon, world clock, breathing exercises, stopwatch, timer, remote camera, and find phone. You know, I have noticed that the KOSPET Orb 2 is missing a barometer altimeter function. This is because it doesn't have these sensors. The new budget smartwatch also doesn't offer offline maps or navigation. However, it still has built-in GPS, and we will check it out a little later. As for the settings on the KOSPET Orb 2 smartwatch, first we can choose the watch face and always-on display watch face here. Then there are time and date settings available. In the display and brightness menu, you can change display brightness, display duration, always-on display during workout, raise to wake, double tap to wake, and cover to lock screen. There are also sound and vibration settings available here. Workout settings, Bluetooth settings, sleep mode, themes, password, morning brief, do not disturb, shortcut button settings, battery health, and system settings. You know, although the KOSPET Orb 2 is the company's most affordable smartwatch, it has many functions and settings. Now let's take a look at the mobile app. The companion app for the KOSPET Orb 2 smartwatch is called ApexMove. It is available on both Android and iOS devices. I like that the latest KOSPET watches work with this app. As you can see, I have already paired the KOSPET Tank T4, Tank T4C, Tank M4, and now the KOSPET Orb 2. On the home screen we can see our daily activity metrics, such as steps, distance, calories, as well as heart rate, sleep, blood oxygen, stress, and mood. On the workout screen you can start and track your training sessions. As for the settings, first, there's a watch face store with many different watch faces. Please note that some of them are paid. You can also see your achievements and weekly activity report in the app, as well as set your goals and manage weight. There are account settings, system settings, permission settings, and third-party data available here. By the way, it looks like data from the new KOSPET watch can be synced with Strava. By pressing on the KOSPET Orb 2 smartwatch, you will find watch settings. You know, many of the settings here are the same as those available on the watch itself, so you can customize them wherever you like. There are display and brightness, screen wake, watch face store, sports recognition, find device, and more features such as alarm, SMS quick reply, cover lock, and others. You can also set up notifications and reminders, health monitoring. In the watch settings, you will find Do Not Disturb mode, sleep mode, sound and vibration, and other settings. The mobile app for the new KOSPET Orb 2 is the same as for flagship models, and it has almost all the same functions, except for offline maps. Finally, let's talk about sports functions of KOSPET Orb 2, since this watch is mainly designed for sports. First, the new affordable smartwatch is equipped with the same VC9213 4PD health tracking sensor as the flagship models KOSPET Tank T4 and M4. This means they should measure heart rate, SpO2, stress, and mood equally accurately. Let's check this out. I have a KOSPET Tank M4, so we can compare it with the new KOSPET Orb 2. As you can see, the heart rate and SpO2 readings are the same. As for workout modes, there are 6 smart recognized workouts available, such as outdoor running, outdoor walking, road cycling, indoor cycling, pool swimming, open water swimming, etc. But you can also find many freestyle training modes on the watch, such as fitness exercises, ball games, dances, leisure sports, water sports, etc. The company claims the new smartwatch offers more than 170 sports modes. Also, this is KOSPET most affordable smartwatch. It is equipped with dual-band L1 plus L5 GPS with up to 6 satellite systems, so the watch can track your movement and distance more accurately during outdoor workouts, such as running, walking, cycling, and so on. When it comes to the battery of the KOSPET Orb 2, its capacity is 500 mAh, which is the same as the flagship KOSPET Tank T4 and Tank M4 smartwatches. However, the battery life of the new smartwatch is promised to be even a little longer by 1–2 days, depending on the usage mode. For example, in typical usage mode, the battery life is about 13–16 days. In heavy usage mode, it is from 9 to 12 days. When used in always-on display mode, the smartwatch will last for 6 days. However, with continuous GPS use, the smartwatch will last about 21–26 hours. This is a very good battery life for a watch with always-on display and built-in GPS. So, to be honest, I am surprised by the new affordable smartwatch from KOSPET because it is almost on par with flagship models. However, there are still some simplifications. For example, the new watch has a polymer case instead of stainless steel, 5 ATM water resistance instead of 10 ATM, and some features are missing, such as barometer, altimeter, ambient light sensor, offline maps, and music storage. Otherwise, these are very similar smartwatches, including an AMOLED display with high resolution and brightness, and the same health tracking sensors for heart rate and SpO2 measurements. 13 professional workout modes, and more than 160 freestyle sports modes, dual-band GPS, and many useful features for everyday use. For the price of around $69, the KOSPET Orb 2 is a great sports watch. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon!